Hello, everybody. This is referee Ben Robbins here for the Aces and Eights Beer Club. So I've been looking through the internet and been looking for some videos, and I've come across one. And I've always heard the stories. I've always heard people talk about this on other shows, other podcasts. I've heard people talk about this backstage. The Jeff Hardy and Sting incident. And you know what? I've never seen the footage. I've never actually sat there and watched it. So I've been on YouTube and I've got the footage, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to give this one a watch because it's very interesting, to say on the least. Is that obviously Jeff Hardy is very worse for wear when he gets in the ring, and it's kind of like a very low point for Jeff Hardy and for TNA wrestling. But I'm quite interested to watch this one because the opinions and comments on all the videos and on TikTok and Instagram that I've seen is really divided. So I want to watch the match and I want to see if I can pick it apart and pick apart certain moments. Let's look at it more of a professional level from a referee as well as someone who works in the business. And let's have a look at and see what could have been done on the night and maybe what should have been done. Again, this is just my opinion, my point, my views. People will agree or disagree. That's absolutely fine. By all means, do so. But let's look at it more of a serious look to it, because there's a lot of people in the comments that they put stuff on the video, on the comments for this video that I've just seen so much. It's more about people trying to be right and get their point across and what they say is right. And I think you need to actually look at something like this sort of situation in the wrestling business with more of an open mind and be like, look, like, how serious could this match have ended up? How bad could it have ended up? What is the actual seriousness of letting people compete this way? So I'm going to put the video on, looking at this with completely fresh eyes. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this one goes. Again, this is TNA Wrestling back in the studio. They always had a really cool setup in their studio though, especially with the laser lights. Their pyro was crazy. It wasn't like loud explosions, but always tons of pyro shut up. So, it looks like this is Jeff Hardy's entrance. Tons of smoke, loads of lasers, all like the aluminum colours. Jeff Hardy's music's still playing. Okay. Not the usual kind of energy Jeff Hardy puts out when he does his entrance. It is a title match though, and it is against Sting, so maybe he's... Oh no. As a referee, seeing him walk to the ring like that, I think you would instantly know something maybe a bit different with Jeff here. Right, so he stumbles up the steps, so that'd be my first giveaway as a referee. You can the ref in the ring, actually, in this video, you can see he's talking to the MC. They're already looking at each other and having a conversation. Yeah, Jeff's energy is definitely completely off what he normally is, but with the stumbling, Sting always has a cool entrance. Obviously, Sting and Jeff are both more the veterans in the business by this point. You go to see TNA wrestling at this point because you get to see Sting and Jeff Hardy, you know what I mean, in a smaller venue, more up close and personal, and they were pulling off completely different move sets in these shows as well. I think you can see the ref is trying to talk to Jeff in the ring. You can see there's something more going on here. Jeff looks like he's stumbling. Just the ref's just throwing the X up. I don't know if you saw that, which means there's a problem. That's good on the ref actually for doing it. The ref's now in the corner talking to production or security. He's talking to someone. It's been flagged. There's a real noticeable problem. There's messages being relayed. Sting's being told. They've rung the bell 3 times there, but slowly. I reckon that's some sort of signal or message to backstage and the production team and obviously the higher-ups who's in control. But the X was... Brian's throwing the X up straight away, which, yeah, spot on to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from Universal Studios Orlando, it's time for your Victory Road pay-per-view main event of the evening. Introducing, first of all, standing in the corner to my left. He weighed in this morning at 236 pounds and comes to us from Cameron, North Carolina.
I mean, you can see the state of Jeff right now. His eyes, the chewing, the fumbling. If you're backstage and your wrestler's walking up to a gorilla like this, you're going to stop and have a conversation. Because it can end up with someone seriously getting hurt.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Sting as a pro and a veteran as well. If he had turned around and be like, I'm not working Jeff tonight, like, I'm not doing this, he could have put his foot down and refused to have gone out, full stop, and just stopped the whole thing as well. Yeah, it will cause trouble and controversial like arguments backstage and things, but you can put your foot down. And there's plenty of talent backstage at TNA at this point to have been like, Jeff's not in the fit state, take him off the match, put someone else out, and they could have made up something backstage.
Well, just as the new TNA World
Right, Eric Bishop's coming out.
soaks in the crowd reaction here at Victory Road. He's interrupted by the appearance.
If Eric sent Jeff out in this condition, it's on him as well.
Slight change of plans here, ladies and gentlemen. Slight change in plans. See, we had a little situation on March 3rd where the network got involved in our business.
Eric's definitely saying to Jeff, like,
And because
I reckon it's probably
Mr.
take a
Hardy was
move,
taking advantage of
take a
in such
finisher, and just go home.
blatant way,
But Jeff is clearly, he's on something or he's drinking something.
I'm gonna be fair.
Eric's saying more than just shake my hand to Sting. He's telling him,
Really, shake my hand. I want you to know I'm going to be fair.
as the ref, he might have been out there for a couple of matches sort of thing, so he might have already been told in the ear or already gone through the match previously backstage, so he might not have realised the state Jeff was going to walk out in at the time. So he might not have been at that level of incompetence in the ring, like, because he's...
Level the playing field, and since Mr. Hardy was unable to prepare for you on March 3rd, we got together with Mr. Hardy, let him know that we were going to change this
Eric's
match.
calling this bit on the fly. He's just gone out there and think, right, I've got
We're
to...
going to make it a no disqualification match. Mr. Hardy's been able to prepare for. That's the way it is. Oh.
Was that a real punch? That was a pretty... I mean, it was definitely an open fist, but I reckon there was a bit of a... I think there was an extra little bit of a dig there, maybe. I think it was a bit closer, that punch, than it looked. If Sting did give him a little tap for real, it probably would be, because you sent him out like this. They rung the bell. As a ref, you've got to be on this ready now. I reckon it is, as soon as there's a pin, 1, 2, 3. I reckon the producers are screaming in his ear, any pinfall, count it. Just count it.
I'm the captain of this ship.
No matter who's in charge, I'm the world champ. But right now, Jeff Hardy.
Jeff's just messing about. Like he's there, but he's not there. Like I think he thinks it's probably going a lot better than it is. I think Sting's probably more worried about locking up with him and thinking, is he going to try doing something on me? Or Sting's telling him. You can see Sting just wants to get it over with. Look.
What the hell is Jeff Hardy doing here?
He's messing with the crowd at Victory Road. Declines to throw the shirt.
Sting, like some wrestlers might have been more angry, but Sting, he's being professional. He's keeping his composure.
And it's trying to win back the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, not just for himself, but also for Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan, and everyone aligned with
He's just pulling him by the hair. Yeah, that's it. It's over. Even still to pull off a move like that was on in that condition. Yeah, the ref's just going to count it. Even the shot. Yeah, that's it. Just get it over with. Jeff doesn't even know what's happened. Sting's just disappointed. I think Sting's standing there in case Jeff touched the ref then maybe a little bit.
That's a jaw-dropper tonight at Victory Road.
Sting's not even gloating. I think he's just like, this is over. He's just happy for it to be over.
I'm speechless. No one expected this. I mean, Jeff did. Look, the replay lasted longer than the match. I mean, listen.
Sting's holding him down for that pin, yeah.
He did better when he didn't know who his opponent was going to be.
Yeah, they're just going backstage now to figure out what the hell's gone on.
Shocked the world again. Ultra quick victory for the world champion. Sting is just, it's like he reinvented himself, Mike. It's like he reinvented himself.
I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, let's go back. Let's revisit everything that has gone down tonight here at Victory Road.
Well, honest opinions, I generally feel, I mean, I've been backstage, I've seen stuff, not saying anymore. There's people I've worked in the ring with where they probably weren't in the best fit state. You know, and as a referee, when you're out there, because they're on your watch, technically, well, they are on your watch as a referee. You know, you can question them quickly, you know, but for the ref to throw up the X during the entrance and for it to play out like that, I reckon, man, backstage, right, like if Jeff would have been in that condition before his entrance, where the production team are and people are, it's not like he snuck out to the ring. His music played and he quickly, I'm late and ran out to the ring sort of thing. Like his music played, he was there waiting, and they let him go out like that. He would have been getting in that condition throughout the day. You know, this wouldn't have been an hour ago. He was fine, I don't think. I think this probably was something that was building up probably during the day, and then it's led up to this, like him being in that state. I genuinely think they could have just been like, Jeff's not here tonight. He hasn't made it. A plane flight, or even have him jump backstage. You know, get someone who could work him very quickly. Just have some. Maybe you can't even do that. I'd say have a chair shot on his back, but because he's in that way, it's risky in my eyes. I think when you've got to look at the care of your performers, and again, you've got people backstage as well who could have just been like, do you know what, Sting? I'll come out there tonight. I'll have a title match. Get someone who's new and fresh, put them in the ring with Sting. Let them have that moment, that experience in a title match. Just get someone out there with him. Or in a vet like himself, and they could have called it on the fly. They could have put a nice 8-minute match together. But to allow that to happen and to broadcast it and put it out, yeah, I think it's a bit of a shame, really. It's not all on Jeff, is what I'm saying. You know, when you know someone, you know, like Jeff has had problems in the past and has turned up in a state like that, it's not just on him. It's multiple people to blame. So, but yeah, it is quite. It's not a nice watch to watch, but I think as an educational video for wrestling, and for wrestlers to watch. I think it's quite a good one for you to look at and be like, do you know what? The business, they will put you out there, you know, if you want to go down that path, you know, they will. Obviously, they've made a show of it as well. So, yeah, but good on the ref and the MC and obviously and the team for obviously doing what they did. But yeah, I think I would have just called the match off. It's not worth obviously the outfall of it. I mean, I've seen this video online. It's got 5, 6, and like one video's got 12 million views. So that's 12 million wrestling fans looking at your company and this match. And some of the comments in it are just horrendous. But yeah, I just wanted to have a watch and see what I thought of it. And yeah, I mean, it's difficult even for me to say and watch because, you know, my opinion is probably very different to a lot of people's. But I personally, overall, backstage, if someone's in that condition, call the match off, get another worker out. They could have easily had someone jump Sting on the ramp, a couple of guys, brought someone else out, turn it into a tag match to end the show. No title match tonight. Sting's plane was late, hence why they created a whole new other main event. There's loads of different angles and ways to go with this. You didn't have to put that out, and you didn't have to put people in that position. Again, when Sting does his finisher, that's Jeff taking a back bump. Luckily, Sting's got hold of him. Sting takes him down and moves him down. But, you know, again, Jeff could have cracked the back of his head. Jeff could have moved, slipped. They both could have hit the backs of the head. Concussions could have happened. You know, the ref's already put the X up. You know, the ref calls it as well in my eyes. If the ref puts the X up and says, like, there's an issue, if the ref had turned around and he might have even said, which we don't know, I'm not doing this match, call the match off. Something, you know, there could have been interference. But yeah, it's just there's so much. There's more questions about this than answers. There's probably a video out there with them all talking about this situation, which I'm going to find actually, and that will probably be my next one to watch. So yeah, this one I think will be a to be continued. But yeah, I'm referee Ben Robbins, and this is the Aces and Eights Beer Club. Hope you've enjoyed my little breakdown of this, and please put in the comments below your thoughts and feelings if you work in the business or if you're a fan, how you saw and understood this match and your reasonings behind what maybe you would have done differently or saw differently. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.